the Colorado Rockies.
Okay, cool.
All right, I'm gonna sound like an idiot by reading these. Phillies, Cards, Dodgers, all are gonna continue on. I think the Cubs win the wild card. I think they're gonna come back, and I said this at the beginning of the season. I think they're gonna win the World Series. I do, and I'll tell you why. Because they need to get to the playoffs with low expectations. If they can just slip in and have everybody disregard them and not have the weight of 100 years on their shoulders, they will finally win.
I actually completely agree. I completely agree with Doug.
I completely disagree with Doug. Not with them making the playoffs, but even if they get in at 500, they're going to have – I mean, the media is going to be all over them about the 100 years thing, whether they win by –
even if they look bad, they shouldn't be, but you're probably right.
Yeah, they're never going to get in and be the forgotten about team that makes it to the World Series.
Okay. Quick World Series predictions. Give me a matchup, Kyle.
I will say it will be the Dodgers versus the Yankees.
Okay, Chris.
I don't think anybody's beating the Dodgers in the NL. I think the AL is a little up for grabs. So I'll say the Dodgers versus the Red Sox. Real original.
I said Red Sox versus Cubs. I keep saying.
Now the fun part is in 5 months we get to see how wrong we were.
Oh yeah, I'd be like, you picked the Cubs. Like, hey, whatever. I'm gonna be wrong anyway. All right.
Baseball's been good.
That's baseball for you. And now we're gonna move on to somewhere else. Against Kyle's beliefs and wishes, we're going to talk football. All right.
Too early.
Noted. You think it's too early. I've already discussed this, and we're not talking about this on air. But we've already started it, so we're going to continue. NFL Preview 09.
NFL Preview 2009.
And this week, conveniently, because we had due to logistics issues, skip Friday. Our bad.
Doug's bad, actually.
No, sort of, I guess. If you look at it in the sense that I was looking at it on a camera.
I know. Actually, we'll talk about this after the show. But it was not going to work.
We're going to do the AFC West, which is awfully convenient.
Oh, boy. I know.
All right. So we had some big off seasons going on in the AFC West.
Remember previous year standings?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you want to give them real quick?
No, I mean, that's the order we're going to go in.
Oh, right. Okay, so the first team was obviously the Chargers, and boy, did they get lucky last year. So they got into 8-8.
Someone had to get in.
Yeah, somebody had to. Basically, they're the exact same team, for better or worse.
They did beat Indianapolis in the playoffs, though, so give them a little credit.
Yeah, that's true. They just waited too long to get good. That's basically what it was. They got hot at the end, and this is a team that should have won like 12 games last year that won only 8, and that's the disappointment.
Yeah.
But the big part of that too was they had Sean Merriman was injured all season pretty much, and even the one game that he did play in, he had torn ACL and he sucked in it. And they drafted defensive end and offensive lineman, it looks like too. Well, in the 3rd round, so go figure. So to me, it seems like this is just the same team, only a little bit better, even because they're not going to be as injured.
I agree. I think that and we'll talk a little bit more about this when we go a little bit further, but I think they horribly underachieved last year. Speaking of that, things today.
And I think, and if I had to blame anybody, I blame Norv Turner, because I think he sucks and he's a terrible coach and he should not be the coach of that team, but not my choice. Next team was the Denver Broncos, also 8-8, who basically gave it up at the end. And obviously,
they changed
everything.
Yeah, they changed complete overhaul. They changed a ton. Obviously, new head coach, new quarterback. I believe they have new coordinators. Is that correct? They pretty much cleaned
more
house.
than likely, because when a new guy comes in, he wants to bring his guys. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they also have a new GM, because Shanahan was both when he was there. So now when they got rid of Shanahan, he's completely gone.
So basically, Kyle, a complete overhaul.
Yeah.
And not only all that, not only did they trade Cutler and get Orton instead and all that, they also there's a chance they might end up having to trade Brandon Marshall for similar reasons. Basically disgruntled, he wants out, he's going to cause issues until then. So that could change as well. And I'm hoping the Chiefs can somehow grab him, because that'd be awesome. Speaking of which, the next team, actually not speaking of which, because the next team was the Raiders, sadly speaking. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm pretty disappointed that I have to talk about Oakland next.
I don't. Yeah,
Al Davis is still crazy. The team is all still there. He brought back that guy, Cable guy.
Yeah, Tom Cable.
Tom Cable's back. Sorry, Chris. Tom Cable's back for what that's worth.
That was a very good way to put that.
Our owner went crazy and drafted Darius Hayward Bay in the first round instead of Michael Crabtree.
Yeah, well,
I think they overachieved last year, though.
We'll talk more about the Raiders.
They signed Jeff Garcia in the offseason.
Yeah,
so there's that. So now their quarterback, their fragile young quarterback they're trying to build up might, get benched in favor of Jeff Garcia. So, yeah. And, McFadden's still there. He should be good, right, guys? Because he's supposed to be awesome last year. The next Adrian Peterson.
The Raiders just...
He was a good college player.
Yeah. Okay. And last but not least...
definitely not least this year, the Chiefs. My Kansas City Chiefs. Overhauled everything, like the Broncos. Only we were bad last year, so we should have. Only won 2 games. New head coach and Todd Haley. New coordinators. Actually, same defensive coordinator. We kept Gunther Cunningham. No, we didn't. Actually, sorry. No, we didn't. He got hired by somebody else. Drafted on defense. There's a lot of other.
Wait, I think the Chiefs got a new quarterback, right?
Yes.
That was supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
Apparently, it wasn't.
Yeah. Oh, that guy. That's this kid Castle. Yeah, he might be good.
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah. But we also traded Tony Gonzalez. So, bad times. Good times, bad times. That all being said. Time to make your picks way early. Give me some favorites. Starting with Kyle.
My favorite is the San Diego Chargers.
No way.
Doug?
No way. I also picked the Chargers because there's no way they should win less than 10 games this year.
I'm gonna make this unanimous and say
Oakland
who
Raiders?
else?
Who else? What was that, Chris?
The Chargers.
You picked the Oakland Raiders.
The Chargers are my favorite. The Chargers are my favorite.
All right. Dark horses. Oh, I just hit the mic. Kyle, give me a dark horse.
I had originally had the Chiefs as a dark horse until I remembered that they had lost Gonzalez.
Yeah, way to bum me out on that front, too. I'd forgotten already myself.
But if Castle proves to be a good quarterback, I think it'll really help them, and they could do decent. But I'm going to have to go with the Denver Broncos because they've been there before.
They have more intact still, to be completely honest. Chris, go. I don't want to be next on this one.
My dark horse, for me, in my mind, easily is the Chiefs.
You see, I put the Chiefs too, but I feel dirty because I feel like I'm doing it because I like them and not because they're really going to be good. Truthfully speaking, Castle was the most sacked quarterback last year, and now he's on a team with a crappy offensive line versus the Patriots, who had a really good offensive line. We only had 2 good receivers, and we got rid of one of them, so now we only have 1. There's still not going to be any running game. Thigpen did a lot of running last year. I mean, he was actually the team's second leading rusher. So really, Castle should be good, but we got to get some people in front of him first. But still, I think they have all the makings of a where'd they come from team.
Yep,
right.
I definitely think that they're
just the signs are there, you know.
Yeah.
Kyle, who's your cellar dweller, which is the worst team in the division?
I'm going to go with the Raiders.
What's the Denver Broncos, Kyle? Kyle picked the Denver Broncos.
Maybe, but but the Raiders definitely.
Of course, the Raiders. Until the Crypt Keeper dies, that team is never going to win more than 6 games in a season. Chris?
Oh yeah, the Raiders.
The Raiders. Yeah, the Raiders. I'm sorry, I watched too much ESPN.
So I forget. Do we start with the MVPs or the LVP? No, we start with the MVP.
MVP was always first, most important. Chris,
okay.
Why don't you start this one? We'll go the other way.
I'm really riding the Chiefs train. I think Castle has all the makings of an MVP for the division.
I think you're crazy, and if Phillip Rivers doesn't get the MVP for that division, nobody should, because that means everybody sucked.
I agree with Doug. Definitely Phillip Rivers. He had a great season last year, and they should be even better this year.
Yeah, they really should. That's the key thing in it all. Otherwise, I mean, it's just going to end up. I mean, Castle, again, he doesn't have anybody but Dwayne Bowe to throw to. So, I mean, and there's no offensive line.
Mark Bradley.
Everybody thought Tony Stewart's team was going to be terrible, and I didn't. So,
yeah, well, you were crazy for thinking that, and you got lucky.
So anyway, my LVP for the
Least
division.
valuable player.